really declutter 105 eyeshadow palettes? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Kimmie. This is my attic. And today we are going to revisit my eyeshadow palette declutter. I don't know how popular these videos are, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to do. But before that, I have to ask you guys, if you saw Karen Harris's makeup collection, eyeshadow palette collection. So she recently filmed a video showing her eyeshadow palette collection, and it was epic. It was so good. I don't think I have ever seen a collection that big. I wonder if there are any eyeshadow palettes that she doesn't have. I guess like old ones, and that's really it. She has so many. So if you like eyeshadow palette collection videos, I would recommend it. It was so good. I'm wondering, between her and Morgan Taylor, that might be close, who has more eyeshadow. I have too much makeup on this cheek, so just ignore that. You know I'm not the best. But yeah, it was so good. I love them both, but yeah, you have to check out Karen Harris's eyeshadow palette collection if you haven't done so already. So amazing. Okay guys, so in this video, let me just tell you, last year I decluttered 105 palettes. I don't remember how many I had. I had a lot. Out of those palettes, I gave some away. Some I had to toss. Not that many. I didn't toss that many. I did have to give away some, and I didn't have to give away some, but I did give away some, and the rest I put on Mercari. So what I'm going to do in this video is answer 5 questions. I just thought this would be kind of fun. First question, did I really get rid of them all, or did I chicken out? Are there any that at the last minute I had to keep? Second question, did I buy any back? Third question, are there any I truly regret giving away, or selling, or whatever, decluttering, and that I can't get back? I did declutter a few limited editions. And then question number 4, were there any that I couldn't get rid of? Like, I couldn't sell. It's been almost a year, and some of my palettes have not sold. So we're going to take a look at them and why I think they haven't sold. And then last question, what about this year? So let's go ahead and get right into it. First question, did I chicken out on any 105 palettes? Are there any that at the last minute I changed my mind and I just couldn't get rid of? Guys, just one. There was one palette that at the last minute I changed my mind. Probably a lot of people are going to be shocked. No, it wasn't my Pat McGrath's. It wasn't my Natasha Denona's. I have to tell you, if you watch my channel, you know I'm a neutral fiend. I love neutral palettes. I just do. I love neutral palettes. I can't help myself. This palette last year surprisingly ranked high on a lot of people's eyeshadow palette rankings, and I was kind of surprised. I had never tried it, so I was like, I'm just going to get rid of it, but I remember wanting it so bad. I thought the packaging was so cute, and guys, yeah, it's the Teddy Bear Too Faced palette, okay? Out of all the palettes that I decluttered, this was the one I couldn't part with. I was taking the pictures for Mercari, and I was like, no, this is what the inside looks like. I was like, no, I just can't do it. I ended up keeping it. Out of all those palettes, this is the one that I kept. And I pulled it out to use it after I decided to keep it because I had never tried it, and I have to say, I don't like it. I disagree with everybody that put this on top of their list. I don't like this formula. It doesn't work for me at all. I think it's kind of dry. I don't like this palette. I ended up not liking this palette. The one palette that I kept, I regret keeping. Question number 2, did I buy any back? Once again, guys, only one. Out of 105, I bought back one. Another one that's going to be, I think, a surprise, an OG palette. This was, again, one that I never used. And it's the Soft Glam by ABH. So what happened was I sold it on Mercari. I sold mine. I had instant regret because I never tried it, and I was looking at it right before I sold it. Like, I had put it on, no problem. But right before I sold it, like I had sold it, I was packing it up and I was looking at it and I was like, what have I done? Should I cancel it? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't cancel it. So I sent it out to the person, but I had regrets. Okay, so I ended up buying it back on Mercari. I sold mine. I bought someone else's. That's what happens. I admit it. Now, do I regret buying this palette back? Oh my God, absolutely not. It has become one of my favorite palettes. And what's interesting about this is I watch plenty of eyeshadow palette declutters, and a lot of people get rid of it. And the reason they get rid of it is because they say, oh, it had its time, it was really good, but now other palettes have come out that they like. I'm coming at it from a different direction. By the time I got into makeup, this palette, it had its day. The craze was over, and I tried those new palettes before I tried this one. And I have to say, I think this one is better. There's not a lot of neutral palettes that I feel are better than this color story, better than this formula. I think it's so beautiful. And if you are somebody that doesn't like is starting their collection or doesn't want a collection, maybe you just want a couple of palettes and you want a neutral palette, I would go with this one, guys. I think I would pick this one up as your neutral palette. I don't think you will be disappointed. I am so glad I bought this back. I absolutely love it. Third question. Are there any palettes that I truly regret getting rid of and I can't get back because they're discontinued? And I am happy to say my answer is no. There are really no palettes that I don't even remember all the palettes that I got rid of. That's what I think happens when your collection becomes too big and you're really not someone that like compares palettes. I'm not a YouTuber that really compares palettes. Like Jen Phelps, Jen, I forgot about her. She might also be able to compete with Morgan and Karen. She might be able to compete. She's got a whole lot of palettes, but she keeps them. She always says because she does dupe videos. She's kind of known for that. She does great dupe videos. So if you're not sure, what she does is when a palette comes out, she will often tell you like how you can dupe it in case you already have the palettes. So I understand why she keeps them. But yeah, I don't, and there's really none that I regret getting rid of, which is great. Now this next category is a little interesting. Let me just count them up. Give me one sec. Okay guys, so here's the thing. I sold 51 palettes on Mercari and I had put 63 on Mercari. I hope I'm doing that math right. By the way, I work in science, but I cannot do simple math in my head. I admit it. We have a test. This has nothing to do with eyeshadow, but we have an essay at work where you have to do like simple math to figure out your master mix for the test. And I always have to put it in the calculator. And sometimes it's like 6 plus 3, but I like want to make sure it's 9. So anyway, I'm admitting embarrassing facts here on my channel, but I had 11 palettes that simply would not sell. They have been on my Mercari page almost a year. It's the land of the Misfit Palettes, man. These palettes, just nobody wants them. So let me tell you the 11 palettes nobody wants. Can you think of them if you saw what palettes that I put on my Mercari page or you saw my declutter? Here we go. First one, the Tarte Pro Mix. Everybody declutters this palette. I think it's very, very pretty. I have never used it, so I can't speak for the formula. I got it on sale at Macy's. I buy a lot of palettes at Macy's. Everybody's decluttering this palette. Been watching a lot of declutters lately. I have to tell you, if you saw my Physicians Formula video, I tell the story about how I have lost my love for makeup since I had my channel. But recently I am getting it back. And one of the reasons I'm getting it back is because I've been watching YouTube videos again. I kind of stopped watching YouTube videos when I had my channel because I was always so focused on this channel. But lately I've been addicted to collections. My favorite videos and declutters. Eyeshadow collections and declutters are by far my favorite video. And I've just been watching everyone's. Big YouTubers, small YouTubers. I have been watching everyone's eyeshadow declutter and collections, and it's really like restored my love for makeup. So that's been great. And yeah, everybody is decluttering this palette. I think that's why it's not selling. And I think Tarte, in general, doesn't have the best reputation, although a lot of people like the one that came out, the Man Eater that came out this year, yet nobody bought this palette. So That's number 1. Number 2, and these are in no particular order, Modern Renaissance by ABH. This one I'm a little surprised that I couldn't sell. Everybody seems to like this palette. Most people keep it. The reason I think that it hasn't sold is most people have it. That's all I can think of. It's an older palette and most people have it. I think that's why it wasn't sold. I couldn't sell it. Number 3, the Knobla Dream palette. I have to say, again, this is a palette I've never used. But this palette has a reputation in the Knobla family as like being the weakest link. Most people don't like this palette and most people don't have good things to say about it. I think the color story is really interesting. I think it's kind of pretty. I just have so many palettes. I think I swatched it. I did swatch it. I can tell I swatched it, but I never used it. So I really don't know about the formula. But I do know that a lot of people say out of all their Knobla palettes, they don't like this one. I've watched a lot of videos, like if I had to get rid of one palette from each brand, and this is usually the Knobla that they'd get rid of. So I think that's why it hasn't sold. Okay, number 4, Venus XL2. Cannot get rid of this palette. This is what it looks like, and I actually really thought this color story was quite beautiful. Again, another one I never used, and I don't think I will because I had so many, but that was really the only reason. And what's kind of interesting is the Natasha Denona, the new one that just came out. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the new one that just came out. Has a very similar color story with like the greens and the pinks. So I think that palette was quite popular. So I don't know. People just didn't like this one. Couldn't sell it. I don't know if I have a reason even. I was kind of surprised that this palette didn't sell, to be honest with you. Number 5, Too Faced. This is the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. Was also kind of surprised that this one didn't sell. I kept the other one, the natural palette that has like the shimmers in it, and I think that one maybe was more popular. Again, this is one that I never used. I picked it up, I think, on sale. I was in love with the other palette, so I bought this. But it's all matte, so I don't know why I bought it. I never reach for all matte palettes because I really like shimmers. But there's a lot of people that prefer mattes. I was surprised this one didn't sell. I think it's really pretty. It is an OG palette, and probably a lot of people have it. But I think this is one of the better Too Faced palettes. I think this was kind of when Too Faced was really, really good. I shouldn't say that, but Too Faced is always a hit or miss for me. There's some palettes that I like, and there's some that I really don't. And I have to say, out of the palettes that I love, most of them are older. And this one definitely falls into that category. I was surprised it didn't sell. All right, next one that didn't sell. The Rare Beauty Magnetic Spirit palette. This is another one I was kind of surprised didn't sell. I've honestly liked everything I've ever tried from Rare Beauty. This is the color story. The color story is like a pink neutral color story. I think it's very, very pretty. Yeah, I don't know why this didn't sell. The only reason I can think, I don't think this palette was that popular, and people that did try it, I don't think they were too crazy about it, so it might not have the best reputation, but I don't remember it like having a really bad one. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of these palettes just didn't sell because people have them. They were older. Guys, I don't know. Here, the last group that didn't sell. I have these in like a case. Okay. Naked palettes. Not surprised. Not surprised. People are sick of naked palettes. Again, they don't have a good, like, a lot of people just aren't buying them anymore. So these are the ones I was trying to unload. This is the Reloaded. I actually love the packaging, and I really like this palette. It's like a cool neutral palette. Couldn't unload that one. Couldn't unload the Naked Heat. Looks like this. I didn't have the brush, but I don't think that really factored into why it couldn't sell. I just think that people, they're sick of the naked palettes. But this one I was kind of surprised at. This is the Naked Honey, and the reason I was surprised at this one is because this has a reputation as being the best. People loved this palette when it came out. They absolutely loved it, and when I do see declutters, people still say out of all the Naked palettes, this one was the best, had the best formula. So I don't know. I have two more that did not sell. First one is a Violet Voss Sugar Crystals. Picked this up after I saw Laura May talking about it on her channel. She, I think, liked it. I think she liked it. I can't even remember. I just know I saw it on her channel, and I would have to imagine she liked it if I bought it. I thought the palette was beautiful. I don't remember using it. I don't think I did. I think I swatched it, and I think the colors were super light. And I think people just don't like the Violet Voss formula. So many people, I watch their collections, I watch their declutters, they get rid of a lot of Violet Voss because they just don't like the formula, or they're tired of the formula, or whatever reason, and I think that's the one this didn't go. The last one that didn't go, oh, so surprised that this didn't go. This is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Never used it, but it's so pretty, and people like Huda Beauty. Again, I think it's an older palette. People have it or are interested in Huda's newer palettes. I guess they're just not interested in this one anymore, but it's beautiful. Never used. I think I swatched it. Not even sure if yeah, it looks like I did swatch it, but I'm a swatch. I love to swatch palettes. If you're a palette lover, you know. But I'm still surprised it didn't sell. Question is, what do I do with these 11 palettes? So 2 of them are really, really, really easy. And that's the Naked Honey and the Naked Reloaded. If you saw my declutter or you remember it, I was so on the fence about getting rid of these 2 because I love these palettes. I love these 2 Naked palettes. I liked these 2, and I liked the Naked 3, which was the rose gold. That's another unpopular one, but I like it because it never gave me, it's the only pink palette that I own that's never gave me an allergic reaction. I have a nickel allergy, so many times palettes give me an allergic reaction, and pink seemed to be my worst offender, but that palette never did, so I never decluttered it. And I just love these 2. I was so on the fence, and I'm almost happy they didn't sell because very, very simple. I'm just putting them back in my collection. That's it. Couldn't sell them. They go back. So that leaves me with 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count wrong? Shit. Basic math is not my thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, there were 13. Maybe I didn't count these because I knew I was going to keep them. I don't know. All right. So I have 11. I have 11 left. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep them on Mercari. And there's 2 things that I could do. Or I could just, like with my new stuff that I put on Mercari, kind of put them in as bonus palettes. But I think because nobody wants them, I'm probably not going to do that. I think what I'm going to do, one of 2 things, and I'm not sure yet, but I'm either going to drop the price on them a lot, or I will bundle them. I'll make like 3 bundles and see if anybody wants to buy them that way. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to do one of those 2 things. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know which is better. Maybe I'll first try to drop the price. And if nobody wants them still, I'll try to bundle the ones that I have left. And if nobody wants them still, I'll try to find friend or family that wants them. They're all in very good shape, so I don't want to toss them or anything like that. Or maybe I'll try to donate them, but the problem is I tried to donate palettes before, and I don't have a place around me that will take them. They don't take used makeup, so that I don't know if I'll be able to do. I'll have to look into it. Could sell them to, what is that? Glambot. There is a brand, a company, a website that will take used palettes and will pay you for them. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to try to keep selling them on my Mercari page. Either drop the price or bundle them up and see if anybody wants them like that. And for this year, guys, I did purchase more palettes. I don't have the collection that I had last time. That was 4 years worth of palettes, and this will be 1 year worth of palettes plus the palettes that I kept. Some of them I am going to declutter this year, like things that I didn't use. So I have a couple of videos coming down this month. I'm gonna try to get them all done this month. The neutral palettes that I'm using right now, I'm such a neutral girl, and I've done this video a few times. It's never that popular, but I keep doing it because I like it, and that's my new thing, is doing videos that I like. Neutral palettes I think are so good, so I'm probably gonna do that video. I'll do my ColourPop ranking, my second one. because I did have new color pop palettes. I'm also going to do a ranking of the palettes I tried this year. I didn't do it last year because I didn't keep track. So I just did a kind of like best and worst, which I'm going to have best and worst makeup that I tried this year. But I'm going to rank my palettes in their separate video. And then New Year's, once again, we will declutter them. So if you liked my declutter last year, I do hope you will join me again this New Year's Eve. Like I said, my collection's not as big, but whatever it is, I'll be getting rid of half because when I declutter, I declutter. So I hope you will join me for that, and I hope you liked this video, my eyeshadow palette update. What do you think? Are you surprised at the ones I couldn't sell? Are you surprised at the ones that I bought back? What do you think of these palettes? If you liked the video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We talk about all in the attic, and if there's ever anything you want me to talk about, you know you can leave it in the comments, or you can follow me over at Instagram. You can DM me there. If I can talk about it, I absolutely will. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you real soon in another video, and until then, as always, make sure you take good care of yourself so you can take care of someone else. And I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.